Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ, NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess is out today. Lauren LaRosa is filling in. And we got a special guest in the building. His album is out this Friday at the church steps.
He done did it again, man.
Capo, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Jones.
What's up with y'all?
Welcome. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I can't complain.
Man, you make some good-ass music. I done told you this a million times.
Thank
But
you.
at some point, you would think there'd be some type of fall-off or something. But it just has not been at all. Like, At the Church Steps is a phenomenal body of work, man.
God is good.
So let's get into the mind frame because we were talking behind the scenes and we was like, he knows how to make music.
Yes,
Right.
I you know what I was comparing it to? I was comparing it to Rick Ross. Like,
Shouts
Rick
to
Ross
Rick.
just
Shouts to
musically
Rick.
got a great ear.
Nah, you always got fire.
And you the same way.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's big. That's big. That's big. I wish the whole world would see it like that.
And why don't you think they see it like that?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I've always been an independent artist. I didn't have most of the promo that most of the major artists have and things like that. You know how I go. But it feels good to be where I'm at right now. I think I'm in a unique place for how long I've been in the game. And to be able to navigate with the youngsters and still have my core fan base and then some new. So it's dope. I mean, I'm engaged. I'm embracing the new wave of marketing through technology and digital stuff like that. So, you know, it's giving me a real jump on what I got going on.
And what keeps you there? Is it your son? Is it being outside? Because Jim sends me records a lot throughout the year, and like Charlamagne said, it always sounds relevant. It's not like it's not relevant, even if it's an older
But it
sample.
still got a classic feel to
But,
it.
but it also has a classic feel. So what keeps you in that zone?
I'm a classic hustler. You know what I mean? But if I don't live life, then I wouldn't be able to continue to do my music. And the way my hustle is set up and things like that, as far as me going outside and getting the money to feed my family, it still has me outside. So that's a big reflection on the music. And then, you know, I have artists, they all younger than me, so I get to see how they live it, and I live vicariously through them. So there's a lot going on. And then, you know, I love the younger generation of people that's coming up. I always like to give them a helping hand. So in turn, it's a full circle. We help each other. One hand washes the other, both hand washes the face. But the urgency of music for me is like, you know, besides everything else, when you a person that comes from rap, ain't nothing like having a hit record. That helps everything else out tremendously. And when you got that cool behind you, it's like nothing you can't do. And the business start coming, company starts. I mean, so it always starts with the music, and you can ask anybody who does music.
Is it harder to make like the records you got on like the At the Church Steps album, like the Jomo and the Genesis, just those dope street records? Is it harder to make those or a hit single like a Ballin'?
Hit single like a Ballin'. Because the records that you hear is a reflection of things that I really gone through if you listen to the music and things like that, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's very easy for me to talk about actual real things that, you know what I mean? But you got them records that you need for get lit in the club and things like that. Sometimes those are the hardest records for me to kind of produce, you know what I mean?
Do you chase balling though? Do you chase that record, try to make a bigger record, or do you just make records and say if it connect, it connect?
After the success of Ballin', I used to chase Ballin'. Down, like I gotta find another one. You know what I mean? And then slowly but surely I got out of that phase of just trying to chase Ballin' and make music that I could continue to make money. You know what I mean? And I do believe a hit will come, and a few hits have came since Ballin'.
You had one, but to your point, I guess you didn't have the label behind it, the joint, take me away. That should have been out of here.
And then, so I show you how it goes. So Wayne had put a record out similar to that, like a little bit after that, where he was singing and stuff. And I was like, but it's the support sometimes, and you know how the game go. But yeah, I had some dope records that I'm proud of, whether they didn't get the platinum success or the success that I wanted. But I'm definitely proud of all my music to still be here, coming up to the Breakfast Club all these years later from where I started. It's definitely incredible.
I was talking to Lauren before you got up here. We was talking about an interview you did. And you said you spent $20 million the time of Ballin'. You ran through $20 million.
Yeah.
And I was counting your pockets. I was like, Jim loves cars, but he ain't love cars like that, right? Then I said, Jim loves houses, but he ain't love houses like that. Jim has jewelry, but not $20 million worth. Where did you spend the $20 million?
Just spending and living. Like my credit card sometimes like $120,000 a month. You heard? That ain't got nothing to do with the everyday expenses. So, you know, we deal with a lot of cash and stuff like that. So
I know it was a lot of PJ. You was PJ King at one time.
This is what I'm trying to say. So if you jumping on a jet all these times and your jet bill sometime might be $500,000 a month just because of you trying to get places. It's all added up. It's not like I spent it. Like, it was just the accumulation during the ball and error through those few years where I was getting money, I was getting, and I was blowing it. And as I look back, thinking about the money that was spent, it came up to about 20 years between the deal money, the show money, tour money, feature money. Like, I'm burning through that shit, you know what I mean? So I ain't got $20 million to show for it, but I definitely spent it on the land and shit like that, you know what I mean?
I know you said in that same interview you don't regret anything, but there were things that you probably would have done differently, or just things you would have done at that time that you didn't do. What were some of those things now when you looking back, like, yo, I could have did this,
I could have been way more financially responsible than I was. But I got this thing now that you don't know till you grow.
Right.
I was very young and dumb at that time, and the experience was worth it. But as I'm older and I'm thinking back, like, damn, if we did have some people in my corner or grew up a little bit different where we were taught financial literacy as opposed to coming up in the hood and we were taught to get that money, go get the car, go get the, you know what I mean? I'm a product of the projects, you dig? Like, so everything I seen is everything I wanted, and I got that money and I emulated what I seen outside. We wasn't taught to, buy real estate. We wasn't taught to, get savings. We wasn't taught none of that. We was taught to save what you can in the shoebox and style out on everybody else, you know what I mean? And that was the mentality I had, and it took me to go through a lot to learn any bit of financial literacy, like to the point where I parted ways with my accountant, and ever since I've done that years ago, it was me really gaining control of the monies that I had, because I actually had to see it. When I had an accountant, I never saw the money. I just was spending the money until I was in debt.
I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, actually, and they were saying that they can't wait to get to the point where they're making enough money where they could just throw people to manage it real quick. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to see mine and feel it so I know where it's going. I know where I'm messing up. How did you make that decision?
To pay your bills. Just me ending up on rock bottom and having to make a decision like, yo, moving forward, you got to do something different because what you've been doing is not working for you. And having a business manager and having an accountant are two different things. Sometimes an accountant acts as a business manager, but a business manager is really supposed to help you make some money with the money that you have and things like that. You know what I mean? And then an accountant helps you just pretty much pay your bills and keep your taxes in orders and things like that. You know what I mean? And I didn't know the difference between the two, and it's just, but I learned. You know what I mean? And I'm here. God is good. I was able to bounce back. I was dealing with some scary times, but I always had a hustling spirit. I know how to make money. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to make business. So now I've learned how to make business so that these businesses can make me money. So I'm in a whole different stratosphere in life right now, and I feel real good about it.
But your debut album is On My Way to Church.
On My Way to Church.
This
yes.
album is at the church.
Yes. 20 years later, I feel I'm that much closer to getting my life totally together. You know what I mean? And we can't do that without having God in our life.
When you gonna go into church though? That'll be the next album. Actually in the church.
You outside around
this album kind of gives you a little close to it.
I'm very close to it. I mean, I grew up in the church. I mean, for all my life, when I was younger, Sunday school, all-night prayer meeting, all that type of stuff. So I'm a God-fearing man. I mean, I have very good morals, a very great moral compass, and that's why I believe that I'm still able to be here in good favor and things like that. You know what I mean?
Lauren, tell them what you said. See, I like the conversations people have about the music when they're not in front of you. Tell them what you said you didn't know about Jim when you listed out.
I was about to go there. From the order of how you put this project together, I didn't know that you were like emotional, as emotional as you are.
She said that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's like when I think about you, I think about like Jim Jones, tough, you don't play with him. And I think about the big records. I don't think I've ever really sat and digested a full project, and I did that in preparing for this. And I was like, man, you put a lot out there. You talk about how you feel, and you take your time with it, where like I really felt it. I'm like, wow, he was really going through some things. And then by the time we got the church steps, it's like, okay, now he's coming up out of it. I didn't know that you were like that in your music.
You know anything about cancers?
What'd I tell you? What did I say?
They told me that. I learned today.
So that's who I am. All of my music, I pretty much wear all my emotions on my sleeve, which I've gotten better at. Like my decision making used to be all about an emotional decision. You know what I mean? And I make the wrong choices a lot in life, and I've gotten very good with me keeping a level head and not letting the little things get to me and things like that, things that I can't do nothing about, you know what I mean? So, and I'm proud of myself for doing so, because there was a time where I would react to every little thing and put myself in all type of trouble for no reason, and I would never benefit from it. I would be like shooting myself in the foot every time I had something good going on.
Is it therapeutic for you then? Because when you hear the music, you literally hear you expressing your life through music. I feel like if people listen to this album, whatever questions they have, you answer them in some way, shape, or form.
100%. That's what this album turned into be. Remember, I was doing this album for 18 months, so this album changed directions like 3-4 times. I mean, it was a core body of work that I always loved, like records, but as I was living life and going through certain situations, the music would change and things like that. And as we all seen everything that transpired in the media recently and things like that, so I was able to get a bit of that emotion also and everything to answer some questions that people have been. You know what I mean, so it was good. It was good for the music. It was good for my soul. You know what I mean? I needed that. I needed somebody to poke me. You know what I mean, so I could wake up and get back in my bag.
It seemed like the media questioned you at one time about your role in Dipsets and Diplomats. How did that affect you, right? Because, I mean, everybody who's in New York or around the country seen
The world.
what your role was or thought what your role was. So how did you handle that? How did that make you feel?
I mean, it was crazy when I woke up. Shout out to Chrissy. She was like, yo, listen, put your phone down, breathe for 5 minutes, internalize it, think about it, and don't overreact. That's what people want you to do, first off. And I overreacted in the house.
Okay.
And then I got over it, you know what I mean? And I just thought about the playing field and what was really at stake and what we doing here and things like that and what people have in their favor and when it comes to the media and how these media games. And plus, it's a playbook from our playbook that we created. You're not going to trick me with a play that I've created. You know what I mean? Like, I know this play. All right, cool. But as far as what people spewing and things like that, you know what I mean? I got this thing, you know what I mean? A lie can't tell the truth, you heard? And time don't lie. So everything will reveal itself in time. But I do believe this is a story that everybody's known for so many years. The only people that don't really know the story are the new millennials and the Gen Z generation. But besides that, the hip-hop culture know what my position is in the Diplomats. Everything started from pretty much my dynamic. And not to say it started like that. I mean, when the success started, everything came out of my grandmother's house, 5H. You know what I mean? I was it, you heard? Like, if I was the denominator in between everybody, like if we didn't have that little stuff, I don't believe that they would have went in the direction they went. Not to saying they wasn't rapping before I met them, not to say none of this type of shit. But all the things that he was saying was pretty much foolish and shit like that. It's all jokes to me, but I do know what I've did. I think everybody know what I've did. I mean, everybody in Harlem knew me. My name is Joan way before my name was Jim Jones. You know what I mean? Like, I really have a name up there. I mean, shouts to Harlem, shouts to my block, shouts to 12th Street, shouts to 13th Street, Lenox Ave, Foster P's, Taft P's, Uptown, Downtown, East Side, West Side. You know how this thing go.
And I think another question people always ask, and as many years as we interviewed you, I don't think people ever know where was the break in Diplomats, right? Because you guys were tight. Like, this wasn't just we doing this. Y'all weren't a group. Y'all were family. This wasn't a rap group. Like, there was Cam the rapper, Joel's the rapper, and Freaky and Jim was kind of, in my opinion, was the muscle men. They were the Dudder men, right? They were the way to make sure things happened. They were going to make sure the record got spun. They were going to get the clearances. They were going to make sure everything was in order.
That's what you see. But it started from me and Cam being broke in my grandmother's house with no money. You heard? Having to hustle. You know, I was in the streets. I was figuring out how to get to it. And he had his craft, which was the music, and he ended up striking gold with the craft. But it all started with us having nothing, having to figure it out. Shouts to Six Figure Digger. A lot of people don't mention his name, but I don't think there'd be no Diplomats without Six Figure Digger. He was the first person. He was the part of the original COC when it came to Bloodshed, Cameron, and Six Figure Digger, and then R.I.P. Blood had passed away. Cam had got his first deal, and Six Figure Digger was his producer naturally, and they got platinum hits together and things like that. And the separation there was a separation with Cam and him before there was any other separation between the Diplomats before we got the deal, and that's a whole nother side of the story when we were offered millions of dollars at one label and somebody didn't take it because power struggles, which I knew nothing about. I found this out later on and shit like that we could have all had way much more money at signing, but I wasn't signed to the label in the beginning anyway. He just gave me a check. Joel's was signed. So there's a whole lot of shit, but Six Figure Digger is a prominent piece to the whole Diplomat success. I don't believe that none of us would be here as a Diplomats if Six Figure wasn't inside of that that dynamic. And I do believe that people need to sit down and interview him and get his view on how everything goes. And I mean, he's pretty successful. He ended up doing platinum records for 50, all type of people. So he got a great catalog and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a very, very prominent piece to this whole story.
And when did the break? When did the veer happen where it started splitting apart? Because I know everybody started to doing their own thing. You started doing music. Joel started doing music. And Cam started doing music. When did it break where it seems like it can't come back together?
Or did it? When I listen to the album, I hear you still reference him as your brother, and you explain all of this. You talk about the apartment, and you talk about Bloodshed. You talk about all of this on the album, but it still seems like that's your brother.
I mean, once you got a brother, he's always your brother no matter what. I mean, like, doesn't mean that you got the same brotherly love that you once had. Don't mean that you're going to hang out like brothers. Like, I mean, I know brothers that try to kill each other. You know what I mean?
On I think it's on Make It Out. You say if it is what it is, then so be it. And then on that's on number 3, and then number 4 on Make It Out. You say you talk about wanting to put it behind you.
Those bars.
And two brothers that's lost.
He didn't just say it is what it is, so be it. There was more to it after that.
I know, but I specifically grabbed that because to me it sounded like
I have them Putin in their pants when I start wars like the Soviet. So don't be rushing for no repercussions. We got drums on these machines like a beat production.
Yes, sir.
It's just raps.
It sounded like to me like you guys can make it out of all this stuff. That's why I was bringing it up.
I mean, I'm not concerned about that right now. I'm concerned about this album dropping. I got other things going on. I'm concerned about Jim Jones and what Jim Jones got going on. I've done a lot for Diplomat's sake and for the sake of the people and the fans and all that, but nobody does a lot for me. You know what I mean? And that's part of the problem here. Nobody ever really pulled up for me when Jim Jones needed him to pull up, but I pulled up for everybody. So now I got to pull up for myself. You know what I mean? And all the other rhetoric, I can't even hear no more. And that's why I stick to what I know how to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the process of changing what people see me to be in my past, and I'm enjoying this journey that I'm going on. If not, I'll be out here going crazy. I'll probably be in jail for crashing. And right now, the last thing I crashed was a boat in Bahamas. Shout out to my brother Ellie. You heard?
Well, you had a good line on the album, man, that to speak to that. You said, I'm paraphrasing because I just heard it, but it was like, you said something, situations you had to mitigate so you don't end up having to litigate. Like I feel like that's a bar for the young boys.
Yeah, they don't even know what mitigate mean, but we ain't got to get into that. But yeah, I'm having a good time with music, man. I'm in a point where I lived a lot of life. My vocabulary is very extensive. I'm not, you know what I mean? You dig? So, and I figured out my groove when it come to doing music. Like I figured out my craft. I figured out who I am when any beat comes on. Like I know what I can do, you know what I mean? So, and it feels good to be here because it was a time when it wasn't that. There was a time where this was just an absolutely great hustle for me, and I had to figure out how to make some great music so I could make some incredible money like everybody else was doing. And that was like doing homework. That was the hardest thing for me to do, you know what I mean? And now I encourage it, like I can't wait. You know what I mean? Every day ain't the best day, but for the most days I'm smoking ish when I go in the booth.
When you did the interview with Justin LeBoy, I mean, you know you guys from
Shouts to Just. Shouts to Ye. I just left LA. We just was out there.
We'll talk about Ye in a second. Were you more hurt of what came out of that interview than anything else?
As far as what?
I guess you knew what when you said about Cam and 50. You knew he was going to return fire. Were you more upset? Did you feel like
asking me if that when I didn't start that? When niggas be talking about me, it's all fun and games, and when I start talking about shit, it gets serious. Like like no. You heard? Like I don't care about none of them. Don't play with me, bro. All y'all do is play on the media. Don't play with me, bro.
I think that's the reason why.
You dig? Like y'all can have
Jim
fun.
Don't troll.
I don't troll. You heard? I don't know these imaginary people that get on my Instagram and I don't do none of that, bro. Y'all know what's up, bro. Y'all can see me face to face. We meet in traffic anywhere y'all want to, if that's what y'all want to do. But I'm not into that. God bless y'all. Just leave me alone. You heard? Leave me alone. Because we all know it could get nasty. You know, and nobody's God out here. You heard?
How do you feel when people call you the youngest old nigga?
I love it. You heard? I love it. I'm still in the loop. I'm accepted by the younger generation. That means my music is moving. I mean, my music is touching them. That means my music resonates with them. You know how dope that is? For me to be in this game this long and being able to make music that the youngsters that wasn't around when I really was lit still admire and want to know who this guy is. It's something about that. You know what I mean? I don't see too many people from my day doing anything like what I'm doing right now. If they are, count them out, call them out.
It's not many. And still being able to make it cool and fly.
Call them out. I want to see how many there are.
2 Chainz, Pusha.
I'm talking about New York. 2 Chainz.
Oh, New
Pusha.
York? Oh.
You did? You did? I'm from New York. We talking about
New
the
York,
Biddy.
going Fab.
Nas,
Fab.
maybe.
Fab.
Nas is
Fab.
not.
Fab is not active enough. I like hearing him on Jim album. He's not active
But
enough.
Nas is not active right now either. Like
Crazy.
that.
Nas-
I mean, he had the
Nas went on a
album,
run.
Let's
but
chat about it.
like currently,
Or
right?
was the youngsters? Did they?
Nah, it was for the older generation.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
then.
saying. Like when I go out, I
Right
see
now,
him.
where
I hear
I'm
his
at, I'm like
music.
an
That Harlem thing
anomaly
is
in my
moving.
position, especially from New York's Skype. You know what I mean? And just watching the landscape of the music that's going on right now. For me to be doing what I'm doing right now in these streets, and in our tri-state area with the music, it hasn't been seen before.
No, that's true. Right now, no, that's definitely true.
And I think during the time where so many people have so much conversation about New York sound and what it should be, like the way that you did this, even so you have like classic Jim Jones feel on here, but then you also got like the Ray Ray skit. Like a lot of people, like I understood you having Ray Ray on here and doing that, but they probably don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
Shouts to Ray Ray.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is very.
That's the beauty of like. So I love the influencers. I have something called the IFC, the Influencer Club, just for that reason, because I know that these kids know more about their phone than they know TV. They know these influencers on Instagram way more than they know actors on television and things like that. And this is what made me like, damn, people like Ray Ray and so many others that I deal with. You know what I mean? Mr. Commodore. There's a bunch of them. I like that. I put all of them in the movie. So with the album, I also have a movie at the church steps that we filmed the movie at St. Joseph's on 125th Street in Harlem. We had Fat Stacy, we had Ray Ray, we had Mr. Commodore, we had Swaggy. Who else we got on there? Everybody in there, right? So it was just like pesos in the movie. It was a beautiful movie, but I know that it's gonna hit hard because I know everybody loved these influences. And me thinking like when I saw Friday, we didn't know who none of those comedians was, but it ended up being one of the movies that we all love. So making the movie with that in mind. But shout out to everybody that played a part of making this movie. Shout out to Will C and the whole directorial team and things like that.
Now you also mentioned Kanye.
Yeah,
You flew out to China to see Kanye. How was
Oh,
that?
Japan. That was
experience?
Japan. That was
then.
dope. That was dope. That was pre what everybody else saw, but that was dope. Just to be in.
He reached out to you and said, "Come on out." Or how did that happen?
That was Justin that put that together and things like that. He like, yo, Jay said you should pull up, man. Pull up to Japan. I'm like, huh?
Pull up to Japan is different.
Yeah, like yo, bro, but you gotta say it like that's Brooklyn. Like yo, we all. But it was dope. It was a dope experience to see him work, to see the genius he is. Getting to understand him more and things like that. You know what I mean? We all have friends that. I mean, you know how it is, but he's definitely a dope soul, man. I believe that he's misunderstood in a lot of ways, and I believe that he does things for people to misunderstand him and things like that. But I kind of understand him. But he's definitely dope. He's definitely a hood ass nigga underneath all of that. You know what I mean? That's what I say.
Did you give him a diplomat's chain?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's his. He has. That's
That's
his
his
You gave it to
chain.
him.
You
gave it to
heard?
him.
That's his. You know. Diplo, yeah, you heard? That's my dog.
Did he ask you for it? Like, or you just say, "Yo, this is."
Well, as you see in the footage, if you seen the footage that we had everything laid out. Like first of all, he asked me to bring like 4 or 5 suitcases of this drip. Like, you know what I mean? Like so, he wanted me to help him with his fashion, with his brand and things like that. So that was what the whole thing for me going to Japan was, a thing like that. I forgot where I was at. You gotta remember this.
No, you talking about his jewelry and the drip and all that.
Oh yeah, he went through the jury, took it. And he didn't take it off, so naturally I was like, man, you hold on to that. He was like, what you mean? He said, all right. You know what I mean? So that was dope, man. Shout out to him. Incredible dude, though. I was doing some music with him yesterday. He let him listen to my album. He started breaking records down, like, you need to do that. And I'm like, yo, bro, my album come out Friday. My album come out Friday. I cannot pull it down. Like, I don't have, you dig? Like, but it's dope. So, I mean, moving forward, we definitely going to make some dope ass records and things like that, man.
Jim Jones fashion line or something coming?
I mean, well, I've been helping him with the Yeezy brand, which is pretty dope. We got a bunch of things going on with that. I'm excited about that. You know, fashion is one of my things. Getting fresh is one of my things. So giving me opportunities to express myself in that field, I think is pretty big. You know what I mean?
From a business perspective, you know, if you put time into that, you put energy into that. Don't some of his antics affect the business? Don't you tell him like, if I'm a partner with you, you got to slow down?
I'm not a partner of his. You know what I mean? Like he owns his brands and things like that. I'm just helping and learning with the things that he needs help with. But I can't say this, man. We all have friends that do. Well, I have friends that do things that I don't necessarily agree with that they're doing, but that don't make them not my friend. You heard? These are still my niggas no matter what goes on. And I'm not saying anything about anybody. I'm just saying in life, you know what I mean? Period and shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't get in certain people's business, but if you my dog,
that's your guy. You just not wearing a swastika t-shirt.
I mean, I ain't getting into none of that. You dig? I don't do politics. You dig? I ain't even vote. You heard? You dig? And I have nothing against whoever's the president. You dig? Whoever the president I feel should get that much respect because they are the president. I'm from the Ronald Reagan era. You know, he was proud to have whatever president. He's the president. You know what I mean? And nowadays, I see a big divide with these politics. It's almost crazy how aggressive everything become. Like they want you to just be like F the president. Like how? He's still a president. Like where's the respect in this country when it comes to certain things? You know what I mean? So it's just, and let me shut up before they start bombing on me. Because I know they about to go crazy on me. Got the red hat on. This is, read it.
Make diplomats
great again.
Yeah, you heard? That's all this is about. You heard? It's not. I don't got no political endeavors. You heard? You know what I'm about. I'm about community. I do all my political things is for my community. I do everything to help Harlem, whatever I can do in my power. You know what I mean?
I don't think you get enough credit for that either. Like I see you out there, you know, at the Boys and Girls Club. I see you out there in Harlem giving out clothes to the kids. Like you do that a lot.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh yeah. Shouts to my people. That's my community. And people always ask why I'm there. I definitely not there to show off or look down on anybody and things like that. I am there as to be a bit of inspiration for these kids to see somebody that came up out of the same circumstances that they did and they was able to figure out how to get out the matrix. So me being there is like a beam of shining light. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it and things like that. And I'm going to keep shining my light on my people and things like that. I mean, for certain people, they have this. I mean, for me, it's like I have a mission. I mean, God put us here to do certain things, and I do believe this is one of the things that he put me here to do is to help people, you know what I mean? And until I figure out how to help more people, I'm going to help the people I can, and that's my community.
Mm-hmm. That was another thing, I guess, people would try to say, you're not from Harlem, you're from the Bronx, you're from the Bronx, you're from the Harlem. But I think you cleared it up in Jomo.
Yeah, but who cares? I'm from New York City. I really been in the turf, been in the field. I come from, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? I escaped to be worried about the rhetoric there. And I was caught up in the middle. Like, I'm a Harlem. Like, I had to think about it. Like, bro, I done lived in Harlem. I done lived in Queens. I done lived in Brooklyn. I done lived in, like, I done lived in the whole city. You know what I mean? Like, I done lived in Aruba. I'm from a lot of places, you heard? You heard? It ain't where you're from, is where you're at. And I get to the chicken wherever I'm at, you heard?
What's wrong with Staten Island though? Because Ray Ray was coming at Staten Island crazy.
Yeah, he went crazy,
I'm
right?
like,
I told him they definitely gonna jump. I said, yo, I ain't gonna lie,
Island?
Wu-Tang might jump you like Ghostface might see you and put them Ghostface killers on you. Heard? Like you talking bad about Staten Island. Shouts to Staten Island. Shouts to Liddy. I have an artist out there in Staten Island, man. Shouts to my dude Liddy, man. Word, man. VL in the building.
You've always moved very militant, but you know you don't. You keep the street life, and you keep the rap life. But on this album, you included some court recordings about the Mel Matrix situation. Why was that?
I don't know. Shouts to Melly, free Melly till it's in reverse, man. It's my brother. It's my heart, my soul, man. I really love and respect that man, man. You know what I mean? For numerous amounts of reasons, not just the obvious that people know and things like that. Like, he's a man of honor. He stood 10 toes down, along with Shotty, along with Harvin, along with all the others that got faded due to somebody not playing the game right and things like that. You know what I mean? And when I see that, I got to tip my hat to them every time. Because there's probably so many other things they could have did in those situations, but they decided to stay down like gangsters do. You know what I mean? So I definitely got to shout that out. You heard back to back, Lottie. I love y'all to death. But those are actually the real recordings from the actual transcript of what Mel Murder was going to call for. And let's keep it clear, Mel Murder case has nothing to do with the non-trade case that Shotty and everybody got locked up for. Mel Murder is locked up for heroin and fentanyl charge because he was getting some money out here and things like that, and he was getting money with a person that wasn't right. And these are the actually recordings from the transcript that he was going to court and what they was asking. The DA was asking questions to whoever and things like that. And I just wanted to put it out there and just, it's my dog and things like that. And I just wanted to show people the things that, as a black man, that we go through to try to make it through society. And when you be in this rap game, how sensitive things could be. And it's crazy. I give a lot of great advice, and sometimes I hardly take my own advice. So when people hear that conversation, it's like, yo, I tell people stay off them phones all the time. And look what happened. I mean, same thing came back to bite me on the ass and things like that. And that could have caused me a whole lot. But God is good. I got some good brothers around me that stood 10 toes down, you heard? So as long as I'm out, they out, you heard? And it's free until we see him. And he'll be home in a little while. For real.
I guess that's what I'm asking. You not running from the affiliation, even though we in an era where people are getting jammed up for shit like that.
Jammed up if you're doing crime.
Yeah.
You heard?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a crime to be a blood. It's not a crime to be a bang. It's not a crime to be a fraternity member. It's not a crime to be a sorority member. It's all the same thing. It's a crime if you do crime while being that, and that turns into other things. And if it's more than one of y'all doing crime while being blood, that turns into a RICO and things like that. I do business. I'm a businessman. You heard? Y'all know that. I make music, baby.
I always want to ask, right? You know, in past interviews, and you talk about it, bringing Bloods to New York. You ever regret that?
I didn't bring the Bloods to New York.
God damn.
What you trying to do? What the fuck? You got me high.
Here you go. Here, you can fan with this. You need this.
Jim said I ain't committing no crime, and he said, actually,
You brought the Bloods to New York.
God
And
damn.
on May 2nd, 2023.
After I heard the interview, he said he made it popular. That's what I was asking.
That's a difference. That's a difference.
Making it commercializing.
There you go.
Commercializing my gang
All right, let me say it
affiliations.
right.
I understand the question now because
Right.
you made it cool, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I made it cool, but I also commercialized. I made millions of dollars off the gang culture. You know what I mean? So same thing with Snoop has done and how the West Coast. You know what I mean? So, but I know I did not start that. I was a young kid. You know what I mean?
Commercialized.
Coming up out the ghetto
I think he means
and looking for, you know what I mean, my place in society and things like that. And the brotherhood always took care of me. And now you dig? Shout out to the brothers, man. You know what I mean?
But do you regret it? Because you commercialized it, you made it cool in New
Do
York.
I regret anything? No, I don't, because I've done so many positive things being in this position as being a man, as being a gang member, as being a father, as being all these things. You dig? Like if I didn't have this platform, people would never know how great some of these people can be, because I put on a lot of people Bloods, and I put all type of people in positions to make money and feed their family and things like that, and employ so many people and show so many people how to walk in the right direction and things like that, and understanding there's a thin line between crashing out and trying. I mean, and then you ask anybody, anyone that's around me, you ask them if I ever encourage them to do anything wrong. You know what I mean? My objective is about getting a dollar. Each one teach one. We staying tight. The wall is up. Can't nobody fade us. Let's protect ourselves. You know what I mean? Of course, if somebody cross the line of discretion as a man, you have to protect yourself. But for the most part, that's not my lesson. It's not violence. You know what I mean? At all. But in this rap game, we've used violence to make a lot of money, and that's what these labels egg us on to do. You know what I mean? We've see the money and we think about the money more than anything else, and it's so easy for us to get caught up in that rabbit hole for so many of us and things like that. Just talking about things that we actually went through. You know what I mean? Especially for some of us. A lot of us are just, you know what I mean? But you know how it go, man.
You rap about the labels having, I don't want to say a certain responsibility, but I guess a certain responsibility. When you saw Leo's comments that he made up here a long time
What he said?
He basically just was like, he got to eat too.
What he said?
He said he got to eat.
What he say?
He said he got to eat too, you know, in regards to, you know, people pushing the drug culture, the gang culture, whatever.
I mean,
it is.
bro, nobody's twisting nobody's hand to do anything. You heard? This is entertainment business, man. Shout out to Leo. I've learned a lot of lessons from him. I don't agree with everything that a lot of people do and things like that. But he was one of the first people that gave me a position to be one of the biggest executives in the game at Warner Music Group. So I really ain't got too much bad to say about him. I more have something to say about myself by letting people like Dame and Killer trick me out of them positions when I had them power by making me feel less than when they would see me inside of them office. Like, oh, you working for these niggas? Oh, you a dude boy? Oh, you a son? You ain't no boss. A boss don't work for nobody. But not understanding my position, how much power I had that I could move, and you know what I mean, in this game. You know what I mean? And it was things like that always kind of, you know what I mean. So there's a lot to it and shit like that. But shout out to Leo and them, man. You know what I mean? Like I ain't got nothing bad about say about nobody.
While you on the label stuff, I was watching another interview. You were talking about you're trying to get your masters back right now.
Yeah, I'm attempting to get my masters back. I signed the
Because you said y'all were independent, but y'all weren't independent.
We weren't independent. Koch was an independent label.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them what an independent label means? Or should I tell them?
You would know better than that.
So like the
independent label wasn't a major label. It
Right.
were two different type of labels. There wasn't a major label. You know what I mean? So we signed to an independent label. We signed to a label. We got a real label deal, but we was making so much money, and the word independent was so alluring and things like that. They made it fit. It felt like we signed, but that's not really what we signed and things like that. It wasn't the independency of you see Slim Thug in Houston had when he was out the trunk, and it wasn't that. You know what I mean? It wasn't that at all. We might have thought it was that because we were getting so much money, but in that circle. I ended up signing a deal for my solo album, which I was happy for. But me still running through the street the way I was and entrusting my career business sense with my partner, I just wasn't into reading the contracts or understanding the business of it because you know how I felt we was moving and shit like that. And later on in life, when people start selling their catalogs and doing all the shit, getting their bag, I got a real catalog. Let's not get to that too. So when people are buying these masters and things like that, like I was like, oh, I could catch a busy off of it. I might could make my exit off of this, and then trying to get that together. And somebody like, whoa, your lawyer like, bro, you don't own your masters, bro, for life. So
For life?
What year was that you found that out? Because like
4 or 5 years ago.
wow.
So who owns them? Koch?
Oh, my heart just dropped.
Yes.
Cam too, or just?
No, just
Okay.
Koch. I signed my rights to my masters over to Koch for the life term and shit like that. So
Is the president Allen still there? Because you had a great
Allen
relationship
is
with
out of
Allen.
there. It's not even called Koch. What's the name of it right now? Huh? Who? Mordock. But
So you don't even got a building to run up in. You
nah,
couldn't
there's a
even-
building. I got a VL deal with Peso up there. His album comes out next month that we signed up there and things like that. So, but they don't got nothing to do with what I signed back then. But you know, legally, and my lawyers starting to make calls and see what could be. You know what I mean?
Done. Now, you did mention something I want to talk about because this has been a conversation for 10 years, right? You just mentioned, he said that they tricked you out of it because they said bosses don't work for people, right? And that's a conversation our community has. But I've been, and I think Charlamagne been trying to say for a long time, you could be a boss and have a job but still do your thing on the side.
I mean, period. It's the whole premonition of how they make you feel in certain situations and things like that. You got to know we from Harlem and everybody got a way of certain people. You know what I mean? But I knew better than that. So I pretty much tricked myself out of my own position by, I stand 10 toes on what I believe because I knew what I was there for. I knew what I could do inside of them buildings. I knew how ill I was and what I've done so far for diplomats by painting this aesthetic and letting people see us in a way as superheroes. Like, what I could do that for so many other artists, which I have. That's why I was able to get that job in there because they was paying me a consulting fee at Def Jam. You know, I was making like $200,000 a year at Def Jam as a consultant. And then when they left Def Jam and went to Warner, they was like, pull up. I thought they was trying to give me a record deal. They was like, nah, we want you to be executive over here. Matter of fact, you run everything. So like people like Joey I.E. and Ty Moskowitz all worked for me. They worked under me. Like I was above all of them. Only person I had to talk to was Kevin Liles and Leo Cohen. Like that.
And how did that deal mess
That
up?
makes so much sense for you. Though.
It's smart as
You
fuck.
think about how you did video, you used to direct the videos, the way you do music now. Like that makes so much sense.
I was a
In-home
bit
studios,
young, and through my loyalty, I was impressionable too. So when I was hearing things like that, it made me very rebellious inside them office spaces, and I didn't. I mean, but I definitely had the know-how and the smarts to do the job. That was easy for me. You know what I mean? Or great experience though. Great experience. Shouts to ASAP Yams. That's what he started as an intern for me.
Oh, he was the intern, right? Yeah.
your loyalty.
Carol
is
Civil
unmatched.
too. I mean, Karen
Civil.
Civil.
Yeah.
She was also an intern for me. I've helped jumpstart a lot of careers, not only rap careers inside of this industry.
But you don't get no credit for that. They say
At all.
They say all Jim do is send people to jail.
I don't want credit no more. I want debit. Cash me out. How I send people to jail? That's what I'm saying. How? Who did you see me send to jail? What is these niggas smoking? They smoking new drugs out here. You heard? From where? How? Who?
No, that's what Cam said. I don't know.
He's a bird. He's a bird head. He don't want no smoke. Tell him he a boxer, right? I'll box his head off. Where's the ring at? You getting money, right? Y'all do sports? 10 million right now. Today, nigga, I'll catch a flight wherever you at. In the morning, I'll catch a flight wherever you at. You with Mayweather and them, 10 million. I'll meet you in any boxing ring. Yeah. Now go make some jokes about that on your next show. I'll box your head off. You know that. Don't play with me. Yeah. Now go type about that.
Jim, Chrissy would tell you take 5 seconds
Yeah.
and breathe.
Yeah.
Chrissy would tell you take 5 seconds
At
and
the
breathe.
church
Jim.
steps. You're at the church steps. You cannot act like that.
Chrissy
You
would
were
say,
literally walking
Chrissy
up
would
the
say take
steps.
5 seconds
The
and breathe.
service, we still in praise and
We gonna bring
worship.
it
You
back.
got time to make
We
it
gonna bring
in
it back.
for the
We gonna bring
sermon.
it back.
Chrissy would say
We
take
gonna bring
5
it
seconds
back.
and breathe.
We're gonna bring it back. You know, all Jesus' disciples was gangsters though, right?
Jesus flipped tables.
And I am a disciple. Remember that. You did?
Tell us about some of your new artists, man. Like you see the
Shouts
Dice
to Peso.
Peso's in here. Yeah.
Peso.
He's on a few songs, White Lines, Call on Me.
Big
What else he
BX
on?
in the
Cinema
building.
By.
Peso been out here doing this thing for a minute though. Been knowing Peso for almost 10 years now.
Damn, I just remember Peso did the. Sorry to cut you off. Peso did the last record with Fat Man Scoop before he passed.
Yes.
Damn, God rested.
Shout out to Bronx.
Peso sound like pun. He got a little bit of pun in him.
He got a little bit, a lot of part of, hey, yo, whoa.
Because
he over there like, yo, they talk about me.
They do you?
He talented, man. He got a lot of different waves of doing music, from rapping to having the harmony. Like, I ain't got no harmony in me. I damn near ain't got no beat in me.
Before I knew who it was, like the name, I thought it was kind of like a little A Boogie. I didn't know when I first heard it. I thought that was kind of
it's not. I mean, it's Peso, but
yeah. But I'm saying when I didn't know who you were, I didn't know the name. But nice to meet you. But go ahead, finish.
Nah, he's a dope artist. Shout out to King Streets, hands down, bar for bar. I think that he'll smoke anybody in the industry's boots, period. And I put the money at the house and everything right now. Y'all can meet me tomorrow also at the boxing match if you want to, with the bag, and we have King. All right, I'm being petty. I got to.
We gotta go.
I got to, man. It's entertainment, right? When they entertain, it's all fun and games. Well, I'm entertaining them. My album come out on Friday. What's up?
You got an album coming out. That is true.
What's up? My album come out on Friday. What's up?
I'm just trying to clear up everything I heard. So,
but listen, does that really sell records though? Because we always hear the story about Jim wanted to fake a beef back in the day.
This ain't faking no. I will box your head off tomorrow when you wake up if you want to. 10 million. You heard? And we got it to cover too, Jack.
What does Freak say? What does Freaky Zeke say?
I don't know. Freak bugging me out right now. You heard? Freak in a crazy position right now, but I want him to get his money and do whatever business moves he need to do. You dig? Shouts to my man Freak. He always gonna be my brother for life. No Freak for a very long time.
You're wearing the hat, and that's what we all want as a culture too. Like make Dipset great again. Like
I'm doing that. I've been doing that. You heard? Got some fire records out every time you see me. It's Dipset. You heard? Big Jomo in the building. You heard? Everybody want to make Dipset great. Tell them to make Dipset great again. I always show up for everything. All the shows, everything. Whenever it's Diplomats, I'm there. You heard? Whenever you talk about Diplomats, I'm there. For the last 10 years, when you say Diplomats, who pop out? Who's been there? Who's been keeping the bird in the sky? Anytime you've seen a Diplomat reunion, who's the reason for the Diplomat reunion happening? You better do the research. It's always been me. You heard? And a lot of times that has stopped me from the motion that I had, instead of me continuing. You know what I mean? I got to worry about me right now.
After the Versus reunion, I feel like I thought that everything was like good, and then it got like randomly just got like rocky again.
Yeah,
like where does that?
The Versus was weak, man. He mad because he got booed and we lost, man. Let's tell the truth.
That's what y'all fell out about again? It's not that. It can't be that. No, that was a joke.
He got booed at the end. He forgot his freestyle.
Yeah, but I'm saying because when we were up here trying to figure out like what reignited all of the whatever this is, we remembered that like it was after the Verses. It can't just be that.
I don't care about none of it. You heard? That's the difference between me. I don't take none of the shit personal, bro. I could take a loss and walk off and laugh at it. I'm gonna still go home to the house that I live in and love life. You heard? Like, people take things too literal. Like, these people get in this rap game and be mad that they didn't have the #1 album. Them, they want to cut their wrists and all that. I don't care about none of that. You heard? Shout out to Jada and them. They was on top of their game. They knew what they came to do. They had, you know what I mean? They was ready. You did? Us? Not so much ready.
No.
Us not so much ready. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. But what's up? Who want to do a versus with me right now? Yeah.
That'd be a good
Who want to do one with me?
Who would you want to do a versus against?
Any one of them. Pull it up. New York, I love all my brothers in New York, but you can pull them up. Don't matter who it is. You heard? Who would you say? Who you hear? I got a real catalog. I just had a gold record last year. I mean, we could go back. I got 20 records for every year.
You know what would be a good one?
We could start from 20 years ago. I give them one record for each year, all the way up to now.
Capo versus Styles P.
He don't got enough catalog for that.
He got Styles got a lot of catalog.
Not a commercial catalog. He not gonna last. I mean, I love Styles. You dig? But set it up.
It depends. If it's just solo records, that'd be a good one for y'all.
I got more solo records than most of them that really hit. Remember that. You dig? Like, I got a lot of gold singles and I got some action with me. You dig? It's gonna be hard for a lot of people from New York to win with Capo. And I got freestyles I could do all. In New York City, it's gonna be hard. I would say that for anybody.
You know, on the record.
Sounds like he want to do one with 50 Cent. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Jim.
Nah, I don't want to do nothing with that sucker. You heard? Leave him out the conversation.
You
Don't
did
start.
that on purpose.
No, I
He
didn't.
did. Don't
No,
start.
because he said a rapper. He said New York, and that's the only one that has a
I
catalog.
low key was thinking it. I just didn't want to say it.
See, it's because you got a catalog. There's no.
Because when you said think about it, I'm trying to think who else even just commercially would have a big enough
catalog.
songs consistently to even. But you know,
it has platinum records, gold
wanna
records,
say it.
#1 records. It's not too many in New York.
Listen, at the church steps, man. On your
no.
That or Hove got that type of catalog. Nas got that type of catalog. But artists like that,
No, but they would. I feel like even like you would have to bring
Hov
it
is
to.
super great. I ain't going to do no
Today.
verse.
Yeah, you can't do no verse with him.
What the fuck is you talking
you
about?
would
You talking about the artists that got
have to
those
bring
types
it
of
up.
talking about right there. Like,
Yeah, you have to bring it up.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna be saying no.
It's the artist that has those type of
Never
records.
doing them. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. You heard anybody else? You heard, but nigga, Hov is you can't. One thing we're not gonna do is front on Hov. He did what he's supposed to out here. Like it's gonna be very hard for anybody to beat him in some type of verses.
I don't think anybody can.
Who's the lineup? You know, I love Drizzy. You dig, but a versus it's a lot of variables to that. That's a dog fight, you know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, right now and where I'm at, I would do it. And I'm saying I want to do it, but yeah, if that was the play, that Swiss felt like he had a bag. I need triple what I had last time the way we put that versus on fire too. We had that thing looking like a championship game. Yeah, Swiss holla at me, and you backdoored me, gave that man some business that you ain't give all of us. You definitely got to give me triple Swiss, and you got to give me some real business this time. See, that's the funny thing about this game. You heard, like, y'all don't talk about the backdooring that's going on for the verses. Everybody keep keying, but
What was the backdooring?
I wanted the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You heard? But we got the bag. But boy still went back door. Like, yo, for me to do the verses, you got to give me part of this business. That had nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
You heard? But he would say, that's me being a businessman. Nah, that's you being a sucker doing backdoor shit. You heard? But nobody want to talk about that. I ain't no
we didn't know yet.
I ain't no
we didn't
backdoor ass nigga. You heard? I stand on 10 toes and I break bread with my niggas. Period. That's always who I've been. Do I not?
Word.
You heard? It's never been an artist that took advantage of. You heard? I really put money in all of my artists' pockets that I deal with, and all my niggas, we get money together. I'm not one of them type of dudes, bro. You heard?
When you went to Cam about that, he said that like it's just me being a businessman.
No, Swiss told me. I had to tell Swiss I know what was going on, Jack. Call Swiss on the line, he tell you. I did bad, you know. Swiss my brother, zone. What's up, Zah? You heard? So I'm not talking about, I'm talking about actual factual.
How did you find out about it then?
Because I found out about a lot. You heard? That don't matter. What it matter is I got to the bottom of it to see if it was true, and I called Swiss. You heard? But that's the shit that we deal with, you heard? That's the shit that people don't know about when they be looking at me like I'm bugging out. No, I ain't bugging out. You heard? We can go down the list, but I ain't got time for that.
You talk about that a lot, getting backdoored a lot. Pause with that.
Whoa, pause. Let's get the backdoor word out there. I'm mad I even said that word there. That's insane. I know, I'm mad. Can we take it back? Can we erase it?
Oh my God.
Shit. All right, come on.
So the reason I asked that is like, if that's happened a couple of times, pause, why not stop it from the door? But like, I can never do business with them again because they keep doing it. It's like, first time, all right, you got me. Second time, third time, you say multiple times, it's like, fuck.
I mean, you deal with what you deal with, bro. You heard? My loyalty goes way beyond a lot. It's a lot. You dig? Like,
Has the loyalty stopped as of now, or is it still there?
Who? I'm loyal to the bird. I'm loyal to the bird. Anybody loyal to the bird, then we fly high. You heard? You ain't loyal to the bird, we gonna clip your wings. You heard? You gonna be down there like a pigeon, nigga. New York City, nigga. What's up? I'm serious about that bird. I put my life and my heart into it, bro. You dig? I put my life on the line about that bird. People playing with it and things like that. It's never been about money for me. It's been about the unity. It's been about the family. It's been about what we could build together. I'm not perfect at all, but I'm the perfect example of what you could be by staying down. And that's what I did no matter what. We all go through what we go through, you heard? But above all, I stayed down for that bird as I'm still doing now. I criticize that.
You know, on Call on Me, you talk about a conversation you had with Puff right before they sent the
Shouts to Diddy.
the feds to get him. Like, what was that last conversation
Shouts
about?
to Big Bro. It was a great time. I mean,
You said you asked him about his rich friends. Now they acting like he dead to him.
mm-hmm.
But when that loyalty get molded, you can see what the bread wants.
With the bread ruins.
What the bread ruins, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when that loyalty get moldy. I mean, and I don't get into nobody business. Shout out to D, man. He did a lot for the game. I don't want to get into all that, but he did come uptown the day before. They came and got him, and he sat uptown with me for 5 to 6 hours right on Lenox Ave. Said he felt like he was in Capri on a yacht. Just the freedom of being uptown in a no judgment zone in the middle of the hood where we don't judge because people going through their own shit up there, you know what I mean? So there's some normalcy in that for him and things like that. And he just sat down and enjoyed himself. He had a good conversation with me. I had a good conversation with him, uplifting conversation, a spiritual conversation, you know what I mean? I know Diddy for half my life and things like that. He's always been big, bro, and I know he's going through a lot right now, you know what I mean? So I do wish him the best. I don't want nobody to come down on me, try to cancel me, all this, you know what I mean? I ain't with none of that. Bro, God bless you, bro, you know what I mean?
What was it about that moment that made you want to put it down on paper though and then record it?
Just living life, and then the record came on, Pacer did the hook, and that's where we was at with it. We did it the same night, you know what I mean, or the next night, whatever it was. It was still on my mind, it was heavy on my heart, you know what I mean? The best way for me to express what I'm going through is usually through the music, and I didn't want to touch too much on it, but, you know what I mean?
When he got picked up the next day, you remember, you like, oh shit, like, I was just with him yesterday.
I mean, yeah, like that. Shout out to Big Bro, man.
Let's get into
shout out to his sons. Yeah.
Shout out to
the Neffs, man. Shout out to them, man. Me and Christian got a dope record together too, man.
On Christian album?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you want to hear off the album?
What I want to hear off the album?
The label will say the single, but you are the label. But what do you want to hear besides that?
It's either going to be Make It Out or Genesis.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I thought that was Tory Lanez on Make It Out.
No, that's Ronnie. That's Young Bird's cousin, also in his artist.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I'm just looking at the track list. Like, I just heard the album.
MRK.
The tracks we got didn't have the feature name.
MRK.
Okay.
Monarch.
Yeah.
Monarch. That's the name of it, Monarch.
Yeah, that's the new Koch. Pardon me for forgetting your name, but that's the new Koch. Monarch has brought Koch out and things like that. But so it's like Genesis, the number 2 record, or we could play Make It Out. So which one do you want to hear?
It's for radio. Let's do Make It Out for radio.
Right,
I like Genesis though. Genesis hard.
Let's do Make It Out.
We'll do Jomo and Make It Out.
Jomo and Make It Out. I love Jomo. That's a great record, man. It's got a lot of bop to it. Good music when you get, mirror music when you're getting dressed. You throw that Jomo.
You shot the video twice for that?
Oh, no. I shot the video in L.A. when I was in L.A., and then I came back and I shot the video here, and then I was just shooting like little clips when I was shooting all the other videos.
Because you made me upset with that one, right? Because you put it out, then I couldn't get it, right? Then you put the video out, so I ripped it off the video, and then you pulled the video down.
Yeah, because that was so I was doing these little clips. You know how these kids do these little promo clips for IG, and somebody actually put it up as a video. Like, nah, bro, take that down. That's not the real video. So we had to pull it and put the real video.
Right.
I do want to ask you one last question. Could love trick you off the street, Jim? And this is what I mean by that. I feel like there's nothing any stranger could ever say to you to make you do anything at this point in your life. But the people you've actually loved and rolled for and been loyal to could.
Trick you off the street? Loyalty could trick you off the street. Definitely. And it's almost tricked me off the street a few times in the midst of my journey by being loyal to a flaw. Love is a crazy thing, and it depends on what type of love you're talking about. Love could fuck up your emotion if you're not disciplined in the household and know that you have a job to do, especially in a job like we have. It's not easy getting up and leaving the house and not home as much as you need to be. And you know what I mean, not spending the time you need to be in things like that. But you know, this is something, a mission that you have to accomplish, or else your family can't. You know what I mean? So it gets tricky at that time. You start to feel bad, and you start to feel all type. You know what I mean? But you gotta stay on your dean, man. Else it's gonna be cold out here. So you gotta get that bag, man. You know what I mean? The family is gonna be there when you get back, and you gotta figure out how to make time for the ones you love, also. You know what I mean? So it's a balance. You know that.
So Cam calls you today, and Cam says, "Look, man, we better than this. Let's." Had
Think
this
about what
conversation,
Chrissy
put
would
it to
tell
the
you
side.
to breathe. Then answer.
This is you and Cam.
Yes.
And Cam. He calls you and says, "Yo, we better than this."
I'm petty than this.
Damn.
I'm taking it petty right now. I just don't want to have no conversation with nobody. I worry about Jomo, bro. It's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to talk about.
For the moment,
nothing to
forever.
talk about, bro. Unless he want to box for that $10 million, because I could use $10 million. Nothing to talk about, bro. I don't want to talk about nothing, bro. It's nothing to talk about. Not right now. I didn't say for life. As of right now, I don't have nothing to talk about. I got other things that I'm doing. I got businesses that I'm attending to. They getting their money. I'm getting my money too. You heard? I'm doing I'm doing pretty good out here with my man Slow. We doing okay, baby. Not to say it like that, but just But I got a lot of things that I'm doing. You heard? And I ain't got no time to be interrupting my time or my mental space to deal with anything but what I got going on. Because that might take away and that might start making me crashing for doing things that I'm not supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Have people sorry to cut you out. Have people tried to put y'all on the phone since all of this?
Nah.
Nobody?
Nah.
The only reason I say that because life is short. And you see people at funerals now and you like, damn, are they cool? Or is this the first time that they seen each other since he passed? Like
I pop out to his funeral.
God damn, Jim.
You set yourself up to that. For that.
No,
He said right now he's in that, but that maybe next year he'll feel differently.
Might
but
not be
it's
next
fresh.
year is what I'm saying. God forbid.
Right.
But I'm going to pop out to the funeral if that's the case, you dig? So I got love for him. I ain't going to miss that. You heard? But right now, I ain't going to miss my opportunity of getting to this motion that I got going on. Album on Friday. We got a movie coming out next month for At the Church Steps. Shout out to all the people that's in the movie. I had a good time with that one, you dig? Like, I'm just trying to stay down this line. Tunnel vision, you heard? Like, we all seen a different a side of me where, you know what I mean? Like, let me stay here. You heard? Let me stay out of these people's way.
Gotcha.
You heard? Let me keep doing my music. Let me just keep doing the things that got me feeling good, looking good, and things that people respected me for not entertaining any bullshit. Let me stay here.
You still doing the sobriety thing?
What you mean?
Remember you was doing
He
the
said,
sobriety
"What you
thing?
mean? No more
in
weed."
Japan, Ye had you sober?
That's because you had to.
You just do something new.
Oh, yeah,
you were so happy in those videos too.
Yeah, all right. So I will say this. Of course, you can find smoke anywhere, but the consequences for smoking in Japan are very dear. Not to saying I wouldn't. Not saying so. All right, think about this. Now I get some garbage smoke out there and smoking in Japan and end up getting in trouble for smoking some garbage weed. Now I'm double mad. Like, you heard? Smoke some weak ass Japan weed, but I had a great time. But it was funny. So I smoked so much in my life. Me being sober turned into a high. Like I was after the second day, I was chasing that feeling. Like I was like, yo, it just felt. I was like dancing. I'm like, yo, it was just a whole different energy. I was like, yo, this is way crazy. So, I respected the being sober for a week and.
He said for a week, so he's back smoking.
No, but since I've came back, I've smoking tremendously less since I came back. Like.
Got you.
I've smoking a lot of my time, but I find myself smoking 2 to 3 blunts a day, and anybody that knows me know that's like damn near not even smoking, you know what I mean? And hopefully I'll phase out of that too. The tobacco's not good for me. I'm getting a little bit older. A lot of things changing for me, you know what I mean? I like to stay healthy. Being in shape is like a form of the fountain of youth for me, you know what I mean? I'm trying to live forever, be the first one too.
And my last one before we get out of here. Why does the internet always try and break you and Christy up? Like the way you talk about her.
We got a baby right now, according to that. I got
it's
married the other month.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I got married the other month, right?
To somebody else, which was crazy.
This is straight out the blue. Then now we got a baby. I don't know. You know, the media don't get to us, man. Like you did, it's a shock value. I mean, when sometimes you hear something out the blue, you're like, nah, they tripping. But for the most part, I don't let that
You
shit
ever
get
be
to me.
having to tell her, put your phone down, breathe before you pick your phone back up like she did for you or does for you?
I have to tell her that in a lot of other situations. She don't really engage on IG like that. You know what I mean? More or less, I'm more the one that they talking about on IG or whatever. But other situations, she could be a hothead as people have seen her to be. But she's definitely a dope one.
You know
very
why? Because this
smart.
generation know Chrissy can fight. This generation don't really know Jim can fight. They seen Chrissy in action. You know what I'm
On
saying?
TV, yeah.
On TV.
Yeah, let's not try that one, please. I ain't got no fight in me, so please, it's gonna get scary. Let's just, I mean, let's just keep me where I'm at. I don't want to do nothing aggressive, man. I want to just get this money. I want to stay down the line. This is entertainment. Anything you heard today was all alleged. Nothing, you know what I mean? It's just me goofing off, having fun. But if y'all do have $10 million for the boxing match, we can set that up. In the meantime, the album comes out at the Church Steps on this Friday, February 20th. I will be at Salsa Con Fuego on Sunday. Listen to me. I don't know if you ever been there. It's going to feel like Jimmy's Cafe. So for you young ones that never been there when Jimmy Cafe is around, get there early. Rare form, we coming to crunch the building. I mean crunch. Me and friends. Shout out to Self. Self been DJing all my life. I don't know if I don't know if I'm allowed to call him my DJ. How should I approach that? I can be like, yo, you know, Self, my DJ. I can say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Self's
as many times as he called you to come pull up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Self's my DJ. We did about 10 shows in this past month together about that. You know what I mean? So we getting our show together, and we coming to crunch the building on Sunday. So please show up early. I appreciate all the love from and support from New York that we've been getting. Hey, like I said, I ain't perfect, but I'm out here. Shouts to Harlem. You know, I love y'all to death. Shouts to all my family. Shouts to Peso, the artist. Hold me up, man. You dig? Don't hold us down no more. Hold us up, man.
When people see you now, they just start hitting the dance and singing Harlem.
Yeah, the wave. That's another record. I want to say this. Shouts to the young girl, Layla, because I believe there was a big
problems,
mix up with that record. I did not know it was this girl's record. I thought it was Cash Cobain's record.
I thought it was Cash too.
I thought it was Cash record.
And I told nephew, yo, I'm gonna do my own version of the record. I'm gonna remix it. I wanted you to do it. He's like, nah, let's do it. I'm like, all right. So I wanted the whole thing over and things like that. I mean, I didn't know. So I just wanted to apologize for her for thinking of anything like I stole your record. But in New York, we do our own versions of records all the time and things like that. And sometimes they catch life. But I didn't know she was Mos Def's daughter. So shouts to Mos Def.
Did he call you? Or no, he didn't call you?
No, their lawyer called me. I respect the business sense and things like that. And hopefully we can figure the whole situation out. Hopefully there's room for me to do something for her or that I can make it right. I can't tell you this, baby girl. I wouldn't lose a bag over somebody telling you what's not right. You know what I mean? Like, it's an opportunity for you to do good business here. You better get this money from the record because, as you say, it's the interpolation is there. So get the bag. You heard? Like, I'm not mad at you. Call my phone. I give you the check directly. You know what I mean? But
Cash should have told you that. Cash should have been like, yo, you know, I got this record.
You know, Cash Young, he out here hopping, buzzing. You heard Unc tell him something in his ear. He like, yeah, Unc, just do it, Unc, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, ain't listening to Unc like that. So Unc start busting, and now here we go. Yeah, he did. But shouts to Cash, shouts to Bass Swag.
Bass Swag, salute to Bass Swag.
Shouts to Bass Swag, big Queens in the building. Shouts to Slow Bucks, shouts to Slow and Bucks. Shouts to all my family members, man. We got an extensive network out here in the city. Shouts to the Lobby Boys. Hey, man, it's been fun, man. Shouts to everybody here, you know.
All right.
I appreciate you for having me. It's not easy getting up on the Breakfast Club, so anytime I'm up here, it's definitely feel like I'm a star.
Now, Jim, you know, you can take anyone of us anytime, Jim.
And congrats on another great body of work. That's the most important thing.
I appreciate you for always holding me up, too, when it comes to the music, my business sense, my musical ear. Like, you are one of the few people that I have advocating for me on this type of platform and letting people know how ill I am of a person. I mean, so I definitely appreciate that. Anything else I'm missing?
I feel like you got everything.
Ooh, what's your favorite song? That was a good question because they might just be reading off the paper.
No, I listen to Jomo all the time.
All right, I'll give you that.
All the time. I actually put that on one of my pictures on Instagram
I like
too.
Church Steps.
Make It Out. I like
Jomo, Genesis. What's going on with Davies?
Now they listen.
I like.
If he said what's going on, you know they listen.
But I like when you on them type of records. It's like the samples you be using. Like I know Status Selected did.
He did Jomo.
Jomo.
Yeah, the funny thing about
Jomo's
that record is 7 years old. So
what?
The day that boy did all of that on the internet,
it sounds.
The beat is 7 years
I
old.
went to the
He didn't write
studio
it 7 years ago.
and I'm on my phone looking for something else on the notes. I'm just going through and the notes just end up going to the bottom. And I ended up pressing I just pressed it. And it came on Jimmy Jones. I was like, and it started going off. I'm like,
wow.
Are you talking to me, God? I paid it for my A&R. Like, am I bugging? Am I high? He like, nah, load this up.
That was
it. Was.
No, even when you
right
did,
there.
it was like I don't know if it was Blockwork or it was one of them platforms when you did that on one of those platforms. And I was just watching you perform it. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one.
It feels good, yeah.
You could tell if you're in a good space right now. It feels like.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I mean, it feels good to be able to do music this far in my career and still getting respected as a dope MC, still respected for my fashion sense. Still, you know what I mean? Like, I got my own little wave out here, so I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate that very much. I appreciate New York City, really. Like, if you know me, you know I'm a New York nigga. Period. You dig? So, all my music is New York music, no matter how far it reaches. First, it starts with me. I don't put no music out that I don't like myself. If it don't hits me the way I need it to hit, then I ain't putting it out. And then after that, I'm a New York. All my records, all my albums, it's about my experiences that started from New York. New York body of work. You know what I mean? No matter how far I reach. So I really love my town. You know what I mean? We're going to keep putting on as long as I can. You heard? Dipset, VL, that thing don't change, man. February 28th, y'all go get the album at the church steps. Appreciate everybody that participated in the album.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen,
R.P.
Jim
Takeoff.
Jones.
R.P. Takeoff, my guy.
Absolutely.
So many
Album's out
others
this
that
Friday.
we lost.
It's Jim Jones. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Boom!
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.